we're back. Happy holidays from all of us here at the Lakers Fast Break. It's Gerald Glassford. Come right back at you here for the Lakers Fast Break. Pop Culture Cosmos, where we cover the latest news and trends in pop culture each and every week, twice a week, wherever you get your podcasts. On the latest Pop Culture Cosmos, it's actually the PCC Multiverse on the Pop Culture Cosmos channel, wherever you get your podcasts, where we talk about what went on with the Game Awards, our thoughts on the new reveals for games upcoming, the awards, most of which went to Expedition 33, and also as well Avatar Fire and Ash that opened this weekend to some pretty good numbers, which we'll hopefully be able to discuss here in the not too distant future on the show. But also as well, we remember the great Rob Reiner, director of many great films. We also talk about him as well, among other things. So go ahead and check out the PC Multiverse on the Pop Culture Cosmos channel, wherever you get your podcasts on YouTube. And also, as well, as a member, you could catch the latest Pop Culture Cosmos shows there as well. Also, as well, want to go ahead and give a big shout out to Drip Show at Drip Show Shop on Instagram and Twitter. Go ahead and follow him to get the latest notifications on what he's up to, what he's doing. But if you want some great canvas art, as you see behind me with Luca, who was healthier than he is probably right now, which we'll talk about here. And then also as well, I've got Kobe right behind me as well. Plus, don't forget, I've got my Kobe and Gigi pillow right here. He makes such great things: hats, shirts, posters, whatever you want. You can go ahead and ask whether it's pop culture, sports related, Lakers, Dodgers, what have you. Go ahead and follow at Trip Show Shop on Instagram and Twitter. Make your holiday dreams come true, or for someone that you love, with a great custom gift from Trip Show at Trip Show Shop on Instagram and Twitter. Also, as well, want to go ahead and give a big shout out to, of course, Joe Sorrell Experiment, the Lakerholics. Well, actually, Michael Heinrich. I had a good conversation with him earlier today, which I'll reference here in a second. He has a great idea about thoughts and what's going on with the Lakers. So go ahead and check out that episode. We just put it up earlier today. We were live earlier today on Lakerholic Spotlight. So go ahead and check that out on this channel as well. Don't forget also as well, Lakers Corner, Clutch Talk with my good friend, Mr. John Costa, hoping he'll stop by. Has been a little bit for him to stop by, so hopefully you get a chance to do so. But again, either which way, if they're here, they're not here, go ahead and hear what those guys have to say at the Joe Sorrell Experiment, Lakerholics at Lakerholics.com, and of course, John Costa's channel as well, Lakers Corner. Please follow, like, and subscribe those great channels. And speaking of following, liking, subscribing, make sure you do that for us. We really appreciate it. This holiday season is all about giving, so go ahead and give out some of those thumbs ups, some of those likes, subscribes. Don't give up those. Add on to those. I'd like to add on to those. And also, as well, of course, follows on social media. But go ahead and make sure you let someone out there know if they're a Lakers fan like us. Go ahead and let them know by going ahead and stopping on by for the best opinions and insight on the Los Angeles Lakers right here at the Lakers Fast Break Podcast. Well, the Lakers, I was talking to Michael Heinrich earlier today, and the question was asked before we left. What did I think about tonight's game against the Los Angeles Clippers? I said, well, 3 players out of the lineup, so the Lakers had to win. Doesn't matter. These are the games that you have to win. You're at home, essentially. It's a home game, essentially, because you're at home in your own beds. It's not like you're on the road at a hotel. You have to fly and rest. No, you're at home against a 6-win team, essentially. Well, they weren't at home. They're not playing the crib, but they are essentially in their own homes, sleeping in their own beds, and they are playing just down the street in Inglewood at the Intuit Dome against the Los Angeles Clippers, a team that just got roasted 2 nights prior by the Oklahoma City Thunder, a team reeling from what's going on with scandal, with how they treated as far as Chris Paul's situation is concerned, as far as what's going on with Kawhi and the impending doom that should be handed out. Personally, it's my opinion on Kawhi and the Los Angeles Clippers organization. All that hovering over the head, and the fact that they bet and gambled on names, they gambled on age And so far this season, they look like it was lost. These are the games that you have to win, especially also knowing that in this afternoon, Houston went on the road and defeated Denver tonight. And with the win by the Lakers, it would have catapulted them into a tie for second place in the Western Conference. So, with all that facing on the line, what would happen? Well, as we've said for quite a while, this team just does not have bodies, depth to throw out there. So when you lose one, two, three, in this case, four players to rotation, if you want to include Gabe Vincent, you're including Rui Hashimura, who was out, you're including DeAndre Ayton, who was out, and of course, Austin Reeves, who was out. That's not going to help you at all, but you need players to step up. And unfortunately, right for the get go, it did not look like that was going to be the case because the Lakers got off to a poor start offensively. Defensively, it wasn't terrible. It wasn't bad. You look at the numbers defensively, they held the Clippers to 43% shooting overall, 37% from the field. They did only shoot 20 free throws. The Lakers outshot them for the free throw line, or at least had enough attempts at the free throw line, I should say, but they made 95% of them. So you're thinking to yourself, okay, they got a pretty decent defensive effort. What are they going to do on the offensive end? Well, the Lakers offense with all those players out, and also the fact that Luka Doncic also got suffered a leg contusion in the first half of tonight's game, did not bode well for the Lakers offense as they just could not generate enough offense from whoever was left with LeBron James and the rest of the crew tonight. 39% from the field, a dismal 16% from three-point area, 16% from the three-point area, and 61% from the free throw line. Just an absolutely abysmal offensive performance as the Lakers, in a game that really would have catapulted them back into the conversation, didn't make that conversation go well. And they head into Christmas week with a loss, 103-88. Want to hear what you guys have to say. Once again, I'm hoping that both Joe and John may be able to stop by. I know they're busy this holiday weekend, but hopefully they'll get a chance to stop by. Mark, if you're available, Xbox, jump on board. Glad to have you here. But Joe is, I see in the chat already. I've sent you guys a link. So Aiden's injury, I will go ahead and give that to you here in just a second. But is the Lakers unfortunately losing 103-88 in a game that they really needed to have, and it would have been nice. With Ayton, it's the elbow. JJ Redick said that he thinks Austin Reeves is close to be able to return on Tuesday. He thinks Ayton is also close to returning on Tuesday, and they better, because I was thinking that Phoenix is salivating at the chance to go ahead and get some revenge on the Lakers for what happened earlier this week. And they better have Austin Reeves and DeAndre Ayton for whatever it is that they have to make up for, because tonight they have to make up for a very poor offensive performance, as once again they lose 103-88. The Lakers now fall to 19-8 on the season. Unfortunately, they did have a chance to get into second place, but they do not. Now they're still in fourth place in the Western Conference. They are just a game ahead of Houston and still a game behind San Antonio and Denver, who are now locked in a second place battle in the Western Conference. So hopefully I want to hear you guys' thoughts on what's going to go on. Remember, this upcoming week, Christmas week, the Lakers have the Phoenix Suns on Tuesday and the Houston Rockets, again, coming off an impressive performance in Denver. I saw that game and they look very good. They got, well, if they got the coach of Denver so mad that he got kicked out of the game, that's how well they were playing. Yes, so they'll be playing them on Christmas Day. So I want to hear what you guys have to say on the show tonight. Yeah, 16% from three is just not going to get it done. They were terrible at the free throw line, terrible overall. Could not generate enough offense. I mean, LeBron himself, with probably the best and only performance, and I use that term loosely, but he did get 36 points in the game. He was 15 to 28 overall, 3 of 7 from three. So he did give about his best effort he could trying to take over the offense after Luka got out injured. Jake LaRavia chipped in with 12. Luka, before he left, was 12. Marcus Smart decided not to, his jump shot decided not to show up today. He was 1 of 12, 0 of 9 from three. Jake LaRavia, his 12 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists. Might look good on paper, but 0 of 4 on three for him as well. Maxi Kleber, Dalton Connect, 0 of 2 each right there for you. 1 of 3 for Jared Vanderbilt, 4 points from him, 5 rebounds. The bench did not provide much outside of Nick Smith Jr. from 9 points, but he was also 1 of 5 from three. Absolutely an abysmal performance from the outside as the Lakers once again lose 103 to 88. Unfortunately, not a great time. Again, Luka did suffer a lower left leg contusion, was the word on Twitter in that first half. You saw him limping, and I don't know why JJ kept him out there. Maybe he was just trying to gut it out and trying to work it out. But yes, did not look good for the Lakers. And that's something where coming into Christmas week, are we going to have Luka on Tuesday or on Christmas night against Houston as well? So that's now up in question because you know how long these leg contusions last for some of these guys. But I want to go ahead and hit up some of your comments right there on the chat. Once again, you can always chat right there alive, or if you see us after the fact, go ahead and drop it below in the comments. Always love to hear it. Or Lakers Fast Break at yahoo.com. I know we had some emails recently, and we're always appreciative about that. So thank you so much for doing so. Here we go. Pathetic 3-point shooting, says Craig. Great to have you here, Craig. I know you were here earlier today with the Lakerholics. Yeah, just absolutely pathetic. They just are. They're a poor shooting team to start with, as far as from the outside overall this season, and this was even below that. At one point in time, they were below the 12.5%, I believe, record for a game, low 3-point shooting for the Lakers. So that was really disappointing. But yeah, they made only six 3-pointers all game long. Could not generate any kind of offense outside LeBron. And that was just truly disappointing that nobody stepped up in the place of Austin, Luka, and also as well DeAndre Ayton and Gabe Vincent in their absence tonight. Just very disappointing indeed. Hey, Derek, what's going on? Gerald, that was the most pathetic game I've ever seen by the Lakers. It was awful. Yeah, it was just could not generate any kind of offense. And the Lakers, they, as we know, defensively, they are very challenged. Now, tonight, if you look at the numbers, Derek, the Clippers didn't shoot the lights out. If you would have told me coming into the game that the Lakers are going to hold Kawhi Leonard to an 8 of 24 shooting and James Harden 6 and 20, let me just point that to you again. 14 of 44. If you'd have told me that coming in the game, I would have said, hey, the Lakers have a great chance to pull out a victory tonight. But Kawhi feasted at the free throw line, 12 of 12 from him. It wasn't even James Harden. He only got 6 free throws. James Harden hit himself. So again, no excuses. I said in this morning's show, there is no excuses for the Lakers on a night like tonight. And we saw later in the afternoon, they had the chance after the Houston victory in Denver to tie for second place in the Western Conference and didn't get it done. It's these games which are really going to kill you if the Lakers end up like a game or two out of a higher seed. And that's really going to disappoint a lot of you guys out there. Gregory said this team stays hurt. Yeah, it's again, I don't want to hear JJ telling us like he doesn't Twitter earlier today. Yeah, that DeAndre is starting to look real good. He should be able to be going Tuesday. If he's starting to look real good and it's his elbow, get him out there. If you're telling me that Austin Reeves is looking pretty good, he might be able to go on Tuesday or later this week. That's great, but that doesn't help you in the now. And that's disappointing to see that these guys, if they're feeling or looking good enough to go, that they're not saying, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and help out. And they didn't. They didn't. They were held out. They could have been on the, I'm assuming it's also as well the doctors, the organization. they hold these players out as well. So that they're primary responsible at times. Maybe some of the times these Laker players want to go in and play, and the team is preventing them. So yeah, it's just disappointing. It's very disappointing to see this kind of effort on a game where you're playing against a 6-win team in the Clippers. You have to, in games like these, step on that jugular. Get that jugular. Just snuff it out and get these victories against these teams. That's what championship teams do. That's what these really high level winning teams do. And the Lakers, unfortunately, couldn't get it done tonight. And Luka, yes, I know he got injured. I understand that he got injured, but these other guys have to step up. And we saw tonight just how challenged this roster and this rotation is tonight. It's very disappointing indeed. S1, what's going on, my friend? Happy holidays. Haven't seen you in a while. No Luca, no reason, no Aiden, so a loss was no, it wasn't expected. It's a 6-win team. 6-win team you're playing against S1. So I have to disagree with you. These are the games that you're going to. I and not well, if the Lakers go in injured against Phoenix, against a team that really is revved up to play with them after what happened in the previous game, that was the loss I'm expecting on this road trip. This is the game that you had to win against a 6-win team in the NBA right now. These are the games you have to win. Now, of course, like I said earlier today, as I told Michael, that if Jamie was here, he probably would have called this game as far as one of his famous Admiral Akbar traps. I get that. I knew he would have probably said that if he were able to hop on the show. But again, these are the games against a 6-win team you have to beat and you have to win if you have aspirations of finishing at a high level in the Western Conference. Because I'm assuming the Phoenix game is going to be very tough for them. I'm assuming Phoenix is going to be chomping at the bit to get some revenge. I'm assuming Dylan Brooks is trying to go ahead and figure out how he's going to poke the bear one more time on Tuesday. And then Houston is no walkover, is no slouch. As Denver just found out earlier today, they're a very athletic team. They shoot well and they rebound on the offensive end very well, better than anyone as a team. So I'm telling you, guys, this was the game that they had to win. So, yes, it's not an overreaction that I'm making. It's a reaction of what is necessary, no matter how many players were out of the lineup tonight. Dan, what's going on? But S1, I do appreciate your opinion, and I want to wish you again happy holidays, my friend. Intel, what's going on, my friend? I'll read your super chat here in a minute. Wanted to go ahead and get to Dan Inspiration. What's going on, Dan? Welcome. Merry Christmas to you. Do you think Luca having a baby, lack of sleep, making him tired? Well, remember he had to jet back from Slovenia. I had said I thought it was in the US. No, he was actually in Slovenia where he had the birth of a second child. So maybe he's still trying to catch up, but he looked relaxed when he gave out those bikes earlier this week, at practice. I mean, if they knew he was tired, he just has to tell the staff. They had several days off in between their Sunday and Thursday games. So he could have found all the time he needed to rest and catch up. That leg contusion, though, is going to have me worried because, as you know, Joe and I still call it just a bruise. But you know how long they keep these guys out these days for just a bruise. See DeAndre Ayton, for example, right there with just a contusion on his elbow. And there you go. Greg around says one get injured, everybody follows. It's a trickle down effect. You could be right on that. You could be right. You could say see one go down and then more follow. But again, I know Tuff made the statement earlier today on our chat on the comments as far as I'm concerned. He talked about he would love to see when I posted the injury report, and he said he would love to see this team. I would love to see this team healthy for a stretch to see what it can really do. But it's hard because they just cannot sustain good health. And none of these teams can, but the ones that seemingly are more healthier than others are the ones that are really prospering right now in the league. Gregory says, any injury, these players out for a while. Marcus Dunn. Yeah, again, Nick, I said this earlier on the Lakerholics show with Marcus and Luca. and I know your affinity for Luca or lack thereof. You get what you get. You know what you're getting when you bring in a veteran like Marcus Smart. I mean, you just as a fan, you just have to talk to the Boston Celtics fans on what you're getting with Marcus Smart. Effort wise, it's not a problem, but he is very streaky as a shooter to probably say at times, and he will not stop trying to chuck it. And we saw that tonight for what he was doing. He just did not get the clue in that this was not going to be his night. So he kept chucking, trying to force the offense. 1 of 12 from night, 0 of 9 from three. Could those have been passes he should have given up to other players, maybe for better opportunities inside? Yeah, absolutely. We said the same thing about Luca the other night when he was struggling from three. But again, these guys are who they are when we get these guys, and at this stage of their careers, they're very stubborn to change those fundamental things about them. Uh, Joe, you're so funny. Intel, let me go ahead and get your super chats, my friend. Truly appreciate it. Once again, the Lakers do lose 103 to 88, but I'm grateful that you guys are here. Hopefully, everyone's going to have a happy and safe holiday season. Looking forward to seeing what the Lakers will do on Christmas week. With two games ahead, including Phoenix and also as well Houston as well on Christmas Day. Intel Wild said this is the new NBA. Lots of injuries, load management. That's Intel. I don't know if you saw the show earlier today, but that's exactly what was stated. Load management, contusions, sorenesses, strains. Yeah, all that stuff is right there. It's very disappointing. Intel Wild says also the Clippers haven't won in a home game since October 31st. Get that, guys. Let that sink in. Intel, appreciate the super chats. Brilliant way to say it. They had not won a home game since Halloween. So when we say don't overreact, I will overreact on this because this is exactly why you have to beat these teams while they're down. You have to finish them off while they're down. You have to get off to a good start to put the message out there and have them just continue on moping and having continue the bad confidence, because this was a team coming into today, even as mature and as old as they are. This was a team that was just suffering from lack of confidence and just looking old and just very disappointing indeed. And the Lakers, unfortunately, just could not get it done as they lose 103 to 88 in a game that they absolutely had to have. Now it's going to be tough because the games ahead are going to be much tougher than they would have had tonight. And here today to go ahead and discuss the game, a good man indeed. He is from I Got Next Sports Media. He has been covering the college football playoffs, which saw no upsets today. Pretty much, if you tried to bet the under, that was probably not the smart thing to do. It is my good friend Legend. Legend, great to have you here as always, my friend. I'm trying to, the one of the comments earlier was saying don't overreact on a game like this where the Lakers had three starters out, four rotation players out, and Luka was out in the first half. But
Hmm.
the problem is, this is against a 6-win team, and with Houston beating Denver on the road today and giving the Lakers a chance, and San Antonio, by the way, a chance to tie them for second place in the Western Conference. These are exactly the games you have to win, no matter how many players are out of the lineup, Legend.
Agreed. These are the type of games you do gotta take advantage of, especially being in the Western Conference, knowing that it usually always gonna be tight, where everybody gonna be like 1 or 2 games separate apart. These type of wins, especially when they're your conference foes, you gotta win them. Like it's just nothing else to it. You gotta win them. Bad Clipper team like tonight, you have to beat them. I do understand though that you're missing a lot of people, and that's one of the things I know the Lakers been fighting against a lot this season. The health part, but you gotta find a way to beat them. You got to. These type of wins could be needed when it comes towards the end of the season. Could make a big difference when it comes to that seeding part. And if I'm remembering right, you think you got the Phoenix Sun coming up and then Houston. That
That is
makes it
correct.
that makes it pretty rough, and that makes the next 2 games almost like a You gotta win them. It's like a must win, especially that Houston one, cause that could really change a lot with that seeding towards the end of the season.
You hit that right on the head, right, my friend. I said it earlier. They have two tough games. Another reason why this was the game they had to have because in Phoenix on Tuesday, they are looking for revenge on what happened this earlier this Sunday, this past Sunday with the Dylan Brooks versus LeBron game. So you don't think those guys got a chip on their shoulder when the Lakers head in there on Tuesday? Absolutely, they will. They are looking to go ahead and try to slap the Lakers around. And on Thursday, the test gets no easier because you have Houston, who just walked into Denver today and slapped them around. They will be heading into a matchup on Christmas Day with the Lakers as well. So those two games are really going to be tough. That's why this game against a 6-win team. Now, mind you, Legend, as well, before I get to Derek's question and also the super chat, which I heard in the background, and I truly appreciate it, you held the Clippers to 43% shooting and 37% from three. Those are beatable numbers, Legend. Those are numbers where if you go ahead and even play halfway decent ball, you have a very good chance to win against a team lacking confidence in LA right now.
Totally agreed. And then if I remember right, Zubac went out early. You gotta take
Yes.
advantage of that. You've
Yeah,
gotta take advantage of
ankle.
it.
I think it was an ankle with him on Zubats.
Gotcha. I would have took advantage of that too, knowing that you don't have that size present. They're affected with the rebounding and all. So that's why I would have expected Jackson Hayes them to try to take advantage of a small Clippers team that gonna be missing his presence on that end. But you just gotta find some way to win these type of games, especially if you know there's a very good possibility Luca might be out for a minute due to that. He can't play around when it comes to anything with these calf issues because we've seen a lot of guys the last year and two having calf strains will end up turning into ACL. And you can't play around with that type of injury. So I wouldn't be surprised if you don't see Luca for a while, and which is why I would have been like, you gotta win these type of games because he might be gone for a minute. It just never know. I wouldn't take a chance of risking anything further getting hurt with him. Gotta think about the long term too. But it puts you in a spot losing this game that now you kind of need to win that Phoenix Sun game against a team that I know Dylan Brooks gonna come ready to play. They gonna want payback for that last game.
I don't know. I don't know if you're going to get one of the jokes here, Legend, because you're not from SoCal. But one of the jokes Joe put out there, I liked it. Was that sorry guys, I'm going to be out for a week because he suffered a leg contusion walking out to the car. So Joe will be out for a week. Sorry, guys, on that one. Bloodhound, though, with the killer of the day. The next Lakers game is at Cedar Sinai, which is a hospital, very famous hospital in the Southern California area. It's just crazy. And Derek, I got you right now. Gerald, I would love for somebody to explain to me why does this team always fall down this season 10 to 15 points every game? They play in the first quarter. I just don't understand how you do that. Remember, Legend, we've been saying for a while about the Lakers really suffering in the third quarter when they start out the third quarter, just really getting into the doldrums. They have seemingly done a better job of that this season, but in instead, the Lakers have found the first quarter start this starting lineup, whatever starting lineup they put out there. And by the way, they put out 16 different lineups so far this season. Whatever starting lineup they have, they just do not get off to good starts and they're always playing uphill. And the problem is, Legend, when you're always trying to play uphill, that's a problem. Again, whether it's a lack of focus, lack of readiness, the coaching staff not planning a game out carefully for the locker room and having to adjust on the fly. It just seems like the Lakers have had this issue, and Derek hit it right in the head. Start getting off to bad starts continuously is not a good habit to get into. But you're right, Derek. It's been a thing all season long, and somehow they have to find a way to be better as a starting unit right from the get go. Legend.
Yeah, you gotta find some way to correct those type of issues because it can bite you in the long run, and you're not gonna always be able to get away with the slow starts. come back, win the game. It doesn't always work. That's one of my biggest complaints about to my UGA Bulldogs. They did it a lot this season. Where you gonna start off slow, gotta make a comeback. Somebody gotta play hero ball, get you back in and win the game. Can't keep doing that. It's gonna eventually bite you. So that's something the Lakers just gotta correct. And I feel for JJ, man. You have to figure out with all these injuries because it's just piling up at this point. I was
Yeah.
a little surprised, especially with the Aiden one with the elbow. I was like, huh?
Yeah, and again, JJ tells us before the game that both Austin Reeves and DeAndre Ayton are looking good in practice, and they might be available Tuesday. That's great. That doesn't help us now. That does not help us now. I don't want to really hear that they're looking great in practice. Just tell us, hey, they could be available on Tuesday. That's fine. They could be available on Tuesday, which is what they eventually he said. But I don't want to hear that they're looking good. Because if they're looking good, why are they not out there on
Right.
the court today? It's just that simple. This, as Intel Wild said earlier, the load management mentality. What was said earlier today on the Lakerholic show, the load management mentality. It's got to change. The Lakers have to have a sense of urgency. Well, whatever team it is, whether it's the Lakers, whether it's your Hawks or your Warriors or whoever, when you have a chance to get to a point where you're second in the West, you have to bring as much energy and effort as you can and be available if you can get out there because you never know what's going to happen during the game. And as we saw with Luka going out in the second quarter and not coming back, the Lakers outside of LeBron just had nothing offensively to give because they had no resources tonight to choose from.
Exactly. And that just puts you in a very tight spot when you got nobody else to fall back on. And you got to be careful about this load management. I understand that they're trying to be precautious with the injuries part. I get that part, but it do get to a point where you just gotta play basketball, man, and you just gotta play. Unless it's a really serious injury like the one with Luca got, yeah, take your time. Do not rush it. Don't play around with that because that's a ACL injury if you don't handle that properly. But sore elbow and all that, like, come on, man. Like, you got football players getting hurt worse than that and still out there playing. Like, come on, man.
Exactly, exactly. As you see right there today with the NFL and also as well the college football playoffs, they're willing to gut it out, and I need to see these basketball teams absolutely. And like Tuff said, Zub and like you said earlier, Zubats out early with an injury, with an injured ankle. You have to take advantage of that inside. Pound
Hmm.
if you're not shooting well, stop going to the well, force the contact, get to the free throw line. And unfortunately, not even LeBron, with his 38 points, got to the free throw line in an abundance of an amount. The Lakers, even when they got to the free throw line, couldn't make any free throws. So it's just a very disappointing offensive effort tonight. And that's something we hang our hat on as one of the best offenses this season in the NBA is our offense. And tonight you saw without the Austins and without the Lucas after the second quarter and without, all these different variations, the Lakers just don't have enough horses to get themselves to the starting line for that second half. They just could not generate enough offense outside of LeBron this evening.
Yeah, we saw that, kind of saw just how important Luca and Reed's offensive input is really needed as well in this game. And they just got to figure out ways to still answer when those two's not there. I'm gonna assume Austin gonna probably show up the next game or the Houston game. I'm gonna expect Luca to probably be out, possibly both those two games. But they just gotta figure out how to still put some points on the board, though. And just gotta start with the, I kind of call it kind of being babyfied a little bit with the tip tap injuries. Like let them guys play ball, man. They're grown. If it ain't nothing serious, let them play. As long as it ain't gonna be nothing that's gonna lead to something worse down the line, let them play ball. Cause it's way too tight in the Western Conference to be taking games off and stuff like this. Too tight. It's way too tight. If you go on a 3-game losing streak, you might be in 6 or 7 at that point.
Once again, the Lakers lose 103 to 88. They drop to 19 and 8. They're still number 4 in the Western Conference. Right now, we don't have any word on how what the seriousness of the leg contusion is for Luka Doncic, so we'll have to wait and find out how bad this bruise is. Once again, the Lakers had a chance to tie for second place, but it didn't work out. Intel Wild says DeAndre Ayton will leave after this season if he keeps playing like this. Good for him. Bad for us because he has been playing well. We'll see how much he will command in the offseason, but he's got to play. He's got to play with a little bit of pain if he's got that elbow. If he's looking good enough to play on Tuesday, which is again just one of these guys in that starting lineup comes back a little bit early and plays tonight, that could have made a world of difference for LeBron as another outlet to use that's more consistent than what was on the floor tonight. Marcus Smart was absolutely horrendous from the field. You have your good Marcus Smart games offensively, and you have your bad ones, and he is all over the place, and he had a bad one tonight, and he kept chucking it and just thought the next one's going to go in, and it just didn't for him. Jake LaRavia, he was terrible from the outside, even though he got 12 and 11. Yeah, just no support. But it goes back to, I think, what Joe, what everybody's been saying. What I've been saying as far as the Lakers bench, they just don't have enough viable options right now to be able to pick up the slack when more than one or two players are out of the lineup.
Up agreed.
Yeah.
And it just you gotta have a stronger bench. And that's something we all been saying all season long. The bench output is very limited. Cause it have moments where there will be sparks they sometimes show up. And then there be moments where you'll look at the stats and be like, you must forgot you had a game today. Where everybody at? You can't keep doing that. That's one of the things I think they gotta make a move in the trade deadline, or be looking now at least to see what you can do. You gotta make a change if you're gonna really, attempt to try to do something in this playoff. You gotta make a move now, cause the current bench player is just ain't just not cutting it. I say I would say the one person on the bench to me that have really showed some good play a lot this year. But definitely to me, I would say Jackson Hayes have done pretty well playing the role that he's been now. He's more back in his place that he needs to be. But the Jake Laravias and all of them have kind of been kind of up and down, up and down, up and down. You just don't know what you're gonna get from them. I'm kind of about at the point I understand why John feel the way you feel about Jake Laravia now. I understand now.
Well, even Jackson Hayes, as well as he's played this season as a backup, as a starter, we've seen touch and go. We saw that last season, and tonight it was unfortunately for him, a lackluster performance. As the Lakers again, 103 to 88, they're losers. But let me ask you this: in the Western Conference, you have a team that you follow in Golden State that is also struggling right now
Hmm.
with the Lakers and Golden State. I mean, any of those teams, if you're right now in the middle of the pack, as both of these teams are, like you said, you put some of these games together as far as a few losses together back to back, and that could be a problem for those teams heading into 2026.
Yeah, Golden State has a lot of problems. They got some issues. So at least I can say for Laker Nation, you ain't got them problems at least. But Golden State, to me, the older state situation came and got you. They gotta make a move too. They gotta make some changes. And that's what happens when you lose a bunch of games. It's hard to get back in the mix. That's one of the worst thing about being in the Western Conference. If you are losing 2 to 3 games in a row, you're gonna drop like a rock in the West. So you gotta capitalize on wins and try not to lose too many games back to back. Cause it adds up, especially when everybody are like right there beside each other. But for the Warriors, they gotta make a move in the trade deadline. Probably need to try to go on the move Kaminga if it's possible. Gonna make that move, make some changes. Cause that current roster just not it. And it's not fair to put all that on stuff. That's not fair. He's 37 years old. You shouldn't have to do all that. You need to be moving that off of him. Cause right now, looking like it's Steph and a bunch of dudes who just that's what it kind of looks like right now. And Steve Kerr, you kind of playing for your job too right now, man.
Yep. Absolutely. He is right now. Again, with no contract in the foreseeable future. Things are up in the air for Golden State, but also again for the Lakers. Intel, I did see your latest super chat. I have my family looking to see if I have any, or if it's just wine we have in the house at this point. So they're searching right now to see if they have any whiskey, bourbon, or what was it, tequila in the house as of this point. But they're checking out because I know we have some different types of alcohol when guests come over, whatnot. You try to be nice and whatnot. There it is if you guys want it, whatnot. So they're checking out to see if it's there, and if it is, I'll take a shot. I'll take a shot. Let's see what happens. But again, it is the Lakers, unfortunately, losing 103 to 88. Looks like Joe is on the road mobile today, but Legend is here. Great to have you here covering college football, NBA, and more at I Got Next Sports Media. Please like and subscribe. Again, just a disappointing effort, Legend. They say, take it easy, Joe. Don't overreact. No, this is the game you have to win because if the Lakers lose in Phoenix and they lose
Hmm.
against a good team in Houston, now they're riding 10 losses and they could be behind Minnesota. They could be behind, let me see, that would put them, yeah, they could be finding themselves by the end of the week in sixth place in the Western Conference. And with all how good these teams are above in the top part of this Western Conference, it's going to be whatever you think, honey. All right, as the tequila and the I guess what is this? Cazadores and 1800, but Legend. Let me. Oh, you're gonna go ahead and Cazadores.
I don't know.
Okay.
You don't like coconut infused.
No,
So
okay. There you go. Well, I'll go with the Cazadores. There you go. We'll give that tequila a shot. Thank you. That was my wife there for you. Again, wanted to go ahead and mention this, Legend, before I crack open the bottle and see what's in it and give it a shot. I do want to mention again, if the Lakers do go 10 games in the loss column by the end of the week, it is so hard to make that up, Legend.
That is very hard to make up, especially when you look at the standings. You're gonna see the Spurs, Nuggets, and probably the Rockets still in the single digits, and now that's an uphill battle to catch up. You're gonna need some help to catch up with them. You're gonna need one of them guys to start racking up some L's behind you in order to make that up. So it puts you in a tight spot if you were to lose these next two games. The one I would say that I would be worried the most about if it was me is that Houston Rockets game. That's the one I'm like, I don't know what's gonna come out of that game, especially if you don't have a Luca too. That's kind of a hard task to go in with no Luca. You're gonna need LeBron to really pull the clock backwards to help you out in that game, possibly. Especially if for some reason Reeves is not there. I will hope Reeves be back by then. But if he's not there, that's a tall order. Phoenix, I think you can still pull that out without Luca, but you just got to come in and handle your business. I'm gonna think Rui ought to be back too by then. I'm not really too much worried about Gabe Vincent because Gabe don't always deliver too much, so I won't worry too much about him. But Aid and all them, you kind of need them back at this point. It's at that point.
The 1800 was a coconut flavored, guys. So I'm not a big coconut fan at all. So I'm going to see what this is all about. This Cazadores. You guys are. I don't drink alcohol, and it's not because any I just hate the taste of alcohol, Legend. So I don't know about you. Are you a drinking guy? Are you?
In college I would, but now I'm at the point I don't really like drinking like that either.
Oh man, I would have loved to party with you, my friend. I would have loved to party with you. So I'm
Yeah,
ignorant.
I was
I'm
good
a
with the
man of my
shots back
word.
then.
I have not taken a shot in years. I do love sake. I do love sake. You hit me with the to go to Benihana, the sake bar, and all. I love doing sake shots. So that's a little different. That's got a little taste to it that I can deal with. Okay. But Intel, this is for you, my friend. I'm only going to do one, guys. I'm only going to do one. A shot for the loss to the Toenail Clippers, and we'll discuss the Clippers here in just a sec. But here goes nothing. Bottoms up. Cheers. Merry Christmas and happiest of holidays to everyone out there. Here we go. This is gonna suck.
Might give me some margarita tomorrow now.
Oh, I hope they taste better than this slop. Oh my god, my throat is burning. Oh
But that
God,
tequila.
it's tequila. It's Cazadores.
Oh
Oh,
man, no, mm-mm.
you were
I'm
right, El.
good.
You were right, El Rosto. This stuff sucks. But I
Yeah,
just
that
because
stuff sucks.
the 1800 with coconut, I would not. If it was 1800 straight, I probably would have been okay with that. But oh God, that just hit. I can just feel it on the bottom of my lining up my stomach now. Oh, that's gonna feel great. But thank you, Intel. Very kind of you to do so. You didn't have to. Very generous. Again, happiest of holidays. I'm not going to go ahead and get all drunk because I remember the time that Intel kept bribing shots to Joe Legend. And he said, and by the end, we went off the air. He says, Gerald, I'm really effed up. But he was messed up. And I'll just leave it at that. But yeah, Joe Sarah's the stupid ass Fruitiera engine. Again, uh I we have mainly wines. Sorry guys, we just have basic stuff. So I'm not like Joe that has the stuff on the standby that you guys seem to approve on. But Intel, man of your word, man of my word. So I truly appreciate your kindness. No, I will not drink anymore because it's already hit my stomach and not the most pleasant of ways. But I did eat beforehand. I had some good ramen though on the other side of Las Vegas. Some good ramen spots here in town. I will leave you guys that. If you guys ever need any tips on Las Vegas food, hit me up at LakersFastBreak@yahoo.com.
Something I learned a long time ago. Don't drink without eating first.
Oh my God, I did that once when I was a young man. Oh my God, I paid the
Yep.
price.
College days,
Uh,
I paid the price.
oh. But Joe is taking shots of MD 2020 and gin juice at the same. You know what? That's Joe. Joe, you know what? His liver will not be thanking him later on. I'll just say that. But Gregory says, I'm pumped for my Dodgers. Edwin Diaz is a hell of a pick. You know what, Gregory? I'm going to say this. Let me just get off the beaten track for just a second, Legend. I won't go off for 15, 20 minutes off the track like Joe does. With the Dodgers, I addressed all season on how bad their bullpen was. And I thought that was going to be a problem. Quite frankly, I thought that was going to be a hindrance for them going all the way. As we saw, they had just enough pitching. Their bullpen had to be their starters coming in to save the day. This Diaz signing could be real key for a three-peat. And if they do get a three-peat, he could be a big reason why. So I will just leave it at that. And Joe, I know, is ecstatic about Diaz signings, and I'm happy for him. I'm happy for all the Dodgers fans, including myself now. And yeah, it's just great to see that the Dodgers, despite the fact that they're paying more luxury tax than anyone by far in baseball, that they are willing to go ahead and do what it takes to win. And I want to see that down the road for the Lakers now that the right people's in charge. But Legend, let me get you back to Marcus Smart again. You live by the Marcus Smart. Marcus Smart, you die by the Marcus Smart. 0 of 9 from 3. I don't know. Maybe it's the fact that his wallet was a little lighter after he flipped off the refs in the Utah game. He got fined $35,000.
Oof.
But these are the times and situations you do not need to go ahead and have a guy that's struggling from the field like that. You have to find offense any which way you can. And Marcus Smart, sometimes his last name does not entirely capitulate everything that he is, because sometimes he makes the great move, the great hustle, the great effort, and everybody loves it. And sometimes it's just not so smart at all, Legend.
Yeah, I was actually kind of laughing at somebody put a reel on Twitter showing him having a brick in his hand to shoot. Kind of crazy how he just kept jacking it up. But the
That's
Marcus Smart,
him.
we just
That's him. He doesn't stop. I mean, you just have to talk to a Boston Celtics fan, Legend, to understand
yep.
that. Yeah, I mean, they tell you this is who he is, and it's not going to change. Once you're 31 in the league, essentially, unless your shot maybe improves a little, gets better with age, that happens a lot with players in the NBA. Outside of that, but the way you play usually doesn't change from one end to the other. Usually you will just be an accentuation of who you are when you're that age. And this is who he is. Legend. It's not going to change. He is going to be that guy that's going to keep on saying, I'm going to get the next one and the next one that I miss and the next one that I miss and the next one that I miss. So we'll see it. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Intel. One more for you. One more for you. God, but this is just,
Man,
oh,
I feel for you drinking that over there.
this is just like roadkill. Oh my God. How do you guys do this? I stopped drinking decades ago, and this just, there's a reason why. I just don't like the taste of most alcoholic drinks. They just don't appeal to me. Not the
Yeah.
drunk factor or anything like that. It just doesn't appeal to me. All right. One more time. Last one. No more intel. You're not going to sucker me in like you do, Joe. I'm going to give you one. One more right here for you. Merry Christmas, legend, to an awesome
Yes,
friend
sir.
and an awesome man that you are. Cheers and happiness and health to your entire family for you and everyone out there in 2026. Salute.
Not gonna
Oh,
tell you. I tell you guys, young
oh,
legend, college and day legend, before I drunk about 20 shots.
oh, oh. Let me just water that down. Oh, oh, that didn't help. Oh my God. Oh, oh God, that's horrible. Oh, you guys, at least, hey, if I'm suffering for you guys and your amusement, there you go. Good thing I'm too whatever that it's not going to affect me, hopefully, too much. But yeah, it's just, whoo, that stuff is awful.
I said
Oh,
one how when I was 20 years old, I used to joke that stuff down like it was nothing.
well, thank you again, Intel, for your very kind and generous offer. It will help us out uh, as we go along. It does help out the channel, and you're very gracious in your offering to us as far as the super chats are concerned, especially on a day where the Lakers again just don't get it done. And these are the games, legend. These are the games that you have to get it done. Let me ask you this though. OKC, they're on they're on the downslide. You know, they've lost 2 of 3. Oh God, break up the press. They've lost 2 of 3 games. Have you seen anything in those 2 losses that make you kind of think, hmm, maybe they are beatable fully healthy after all?
I would say these last few games just showed there are some things that a healthy Thunder team need to work on, and it showed, especially when they get the Spurs, and then when they just recently played Minnesota. It at least lets you know that yeah, they should be the favorite. They are definitely above a lot of people in the league, but they are beatable. There are some things you can take note of that you can take advantage of if you hit the right notes. But it did let you know that much. And then a lot of people, man, I realized too, the Marcus Smart that you guys saw tonight, that's the reason why the Celtics traded him. Somebody let him go. Yeah.
I'm just going to say this again. When it comes to OKC, I still think they are the team to beat. Remember, they've only lost 3 games, so I don't want to
Hmm.
put too much into context about their last 2 or 3 games. But they have shown signs, legend. They have shown some weaknesses in their half court offense. I think if you can not fall into the trap of fouling SGA 15 times a game and sending them to the line for 15 free throws, if you can keep them in a half court offense, you have a chance to win that game and you limit your turnovers. You have a viable chance to win a game or 2 in a series against the Oklahoma City Thunder. The question is, can you get 4 out of 7 from them? Can you
Exactly.
repeat that performance 4 out of 7 times? That's the hard part because their defense is just so good, legend, that it's really hard to be able to sustain that type of momentum for a 4 out of 7, to win 4 out of 7 times.
That's the biggest thing I said too as well with the Minnesota win. You can get one off of them, but can you get 4 off of them is the question. That's the hardest thing. If you can like slow the game down, don't let it be a fast break game. Don't turn the ball over left and right, and keep your hands to yourself and not breathe on SGA too much. The game you got a a really good chance you can possibly win this game. But it comes down to, can you do that 4 times? That's the biggest question out the whole thing. Can you do it 4 times? But those to me are the thing I really saw. Half court offense. Don't let it be fast break. Don't let the game turn into a turnover fest where it leads to fast break. And you just gotta control the fouls, and then you got a really good chance you can beat them. That's pretty much the whole trick to beating that squad. Is to me their half court offense is definitely better than it was last year, but that still is a little bit of a weak point for that team. But that lets you know how good that team is. Though, and everybody thought it was the end of the world when they got their third loss.
Once again, the Lakers lose 103 to 88. Tough. My bed or the couch is just down the hallway on either side, so I'm okay, I guess, at this point. So, but I think I'm done for the night as far as that's concerned. So, yes, even if you were to go 300, I'm not sure I'd do it. So, I think I have my limit for tonight, and I'm not feeling any buzz or tingling yet. Like I know Joe, he hits it hard and he feels a buzz after like 5 or 6. I think that's when he because he's more used to it. So I'll let him be the next time as far as what he's doing on his drinking. But again, the Lakers lose 103 to 88. Legend, it's so great to have you here. Oh, James Hex is here. Okay, the show goes downhill from here. Once again, it's giving the title. I didn't say I give the title to OKC, James. No, I'm not giving anything. Do not, as Joe would tell you, do not put words into my mouth or I'll ask the mods to ban you. It's just that simple. You are lying. I would put OKC as the favorite. I deal in realities. You're dealing in fantasies, James Hex. So again, you're trying to antagonize us and manipulate the truth. But if you cannot see the truth for what it is, then you are sadly mistaken, just trying to troll, or insanely stupid. And I'm beginning to think it's leaning towards that insanely stupid. There's a team out there with only 3 losses in the NBA that has, again, proven time and time again that they are the team to beat. And the Lakers have to do what they can, you think, to try and put themselves in a position, Legend, where they can compete at that level. But right now, with games like tonight, where the Lakers don't get it done, no matter how many injured players they have, they don't get it done against a 6-win team. It makes it harder to think that you have a team that can compete against a team like OKC, Denver, Detroit, New York, Houston, Minnesota, or San Antonio, even who's really on the rise right now.
I'm about at the point San Antonio might be that sleeper team that might really make a little run. But yeah, these type of games just gotta win. Cause and to me, when it's in the NBA, especially when you're in the West Coast, I feel like these type of games can really decide your fate at the very end of the season when it comes down to that seeding part. Because we saw it last year, how it took the very last game of the season to determine what that Western Conference slot was gonna be like. It was that packed up together. You just really didn't know what was gonna happen. It came down to all the games that to fully wrap up. We pretty much knew what the East was gonna look like before it ended. But the West, it came down to the final day, the final moment to really know what everything's gonna be. And that's why these type of games, it just matters the most, especially going against like Oklahoma and all of them. You don't want to get too pulled far away from them. Oklahoma might be out the picture, but you still can catch Denver and Houston. That's still possible. That's still right there in the mix. I think Denver and Spurs are tied for second right now. I think, but it's all open game at this point. You just can't lose back to back to back games. That the part you can't let happen. But like Gerald said, though, you're gonna probably get a very feisty Phoenix Suns ain't coming.
That's what I'm worried about. Is again a Phoenix Suns team that, again, as you saw, it got testy, it got nasty, it got
Yeah.
chippy last Sunday against as far as the Phoenix Suns with Dylan Brooks versus LeBron James. That's what is expecting, and that's what awaiting for them on Tuesday. And then you have the Houston Rockets, who again went into Denver and literally slapped them around today. against the Denver Nuggets. They had the lead, Legend. I don't know if you got a chance to watch the game on NBA TV, but they were from the get-go dictating the pace, dictating the shots. They hit their shots early. They're the second best team in the league from the outside at 3 point. And then also they out offensive rebound extremely well. They have the components which can give the Lakers some problems, plus their athleticism and Thompson, if Luka is available. Those are key components that will make the night not that easy for the Lakers. So we'll see what happens. But my friend, it's been great to have you here. Just wanted to go ahead and thank you so much for all you do for this channel, this show. Before we head on out, and before I'll consider Intel, I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about it before we head it out. I'll just think if I do it, I'll leave it at 3. But if I do another shot, I'm thinking about it. But before we head on out, Legend, please go ahead and drop the word on what you're doing at I Got Next Sports Media while I check Twitter to make sure that there's no updates on Luca for everyone out there.
Well, I plan to do a video probably tomorrow to do a little shout out for James Madison. I know they lost tonight to Oregon, but being that my university is a G5 and in the same conference as James Madison, honestly, I applaud them for not just laying down and giving up. They actually, like, I think, lost by 17, so I'm very proud of them for that part. So I just want to do a video to kind of shout out James Madison on well done making up for a very rough first half against Oregon. But then last time we're gonna get ready to do another video discussing the going into the next rounds of the college football playoffs, and then I'm gonna do some NBA talk going toward the Christmas Day matchups and talk about maybe my potential targets the Warriors need to go after to turn their season around and can remove that Golden State Warriors name officially. So that needs to probably go off.
And once again, it is I Got Next Sports Media. Please go ahead and support Legend today. All I'm going to say is this, Legend, when you see two games like in Mississippi and Oregon that we saw today, as a guy who has, affinity for UNLV, which would be one of those non-Power 5 schools, they had a good season. But let's just say they won
Hmm.
the Mountain West and got themselves qualified. They would have gotten waxed by whatever Oregon or Mississippi team that would have beat them today. There's no way that UNLV would have gone in there and would have played those. I don't know if we should continue this setup. I really like the fact that these non-conference teams get a chance, but if they keep losing like 40 something to 3, or they keep getting just waxed right off the field. I don't know how fair that's going to continue to make it. I like it, the fact that the little guy has a chance, but it seems to me in a basketball setting, these these Davids have a much better chance of beating Goliath.
Yeah, I understand that as well, and I like seeing these schools have a chance, especially to knowing that my university is from the Sun Belt, Georgia Southern University. They're from the Sun Belt, same conference as James Madison, which is why I know James Madison so well. And I like that you have a chance to at least make an appearance. No, you can't win it, but just beat her. But I can also understand too that it's not probably good for ratings and your TV wise to see somebody lose like 41-10 or 45 or 35-3 or something like that. I can understand that part. I think college football will probably make a change to that playoff format this off season most likely, and probably gonna change that auto bid for G5s most likely. But I think something that might can fix the whole thing for everybody is if maybe you can figure out how to do with the transfer portal and all the different coaching changes. NIL to me will make a humongous difference if you can really maybe find a way to make them more equivalent across the board for everybody. And then I guess we go from there at that point because it's kind of hard to ask a Tulane or a James Madison to go play Georgia and go beat them. Like it's asking a lot because Georgia got more resources, better NIL offers. They're gonna have the best players because they can afford to get them. And for schools like James Madison, if you do get a talented generational player, 9 out of 10 they're gonna probably leave you next season in the transfer portal and go to one of those type of schools. So you got to be some way to make things more balanced. if you want to keep it this way, well, G5's got a chance and not, go out there and get embarrassed or get destroyed on national TV.
That's the problem though, because we had two very ugly games today, and I'm as much as I want the little guy to win, Legend, as much as I want to root for the little guy, and it's seemingly in college football, they have so much of a lesser chance to do so in a high profile game like this. Maybe it's if it's the first game of the season, those games where a team like a James Madison or a UNLV, they go to a Michigan or they go to for a payday in the first couple games of the season.
Right.
Yeah, there you'll see an occasional upset. But in the playoff format, when the money's on the line and these guys are focused, it's so much harder. It's just so much higher. I mean, I reckon back to when Hawaii was undefeated going into the Sugar Bowl, and yeah, they. I remember. I forgot who they played. Was it Georgia? I don't remember exactly who it was, but yeah, they got roasted. And this was an undefeated team and they got roasted. And it was just, yeah, these smaller teams in football on the playoffs, I just don't know. And for as much as how much I enjoyed the fact that Notre Dame was not involved in this or Texas or whatnot, yeah, it's just, yeah, maybe they should have been replacement legend. What are your thoughts on that? As I finally drink this last one. Going down. Intel, third one's for you. Final one, because I'm going to close out the show after Legend.
I would say, yeah, for today, you would almost be like, man, you kind of maybe would have been better if you had Notre Dame. Definitely for
Oh,
sure. Because
God, that's horrible. Sorry, Legend.
I could definitely say the Tulane game started off okay. Their defense was doing pretty good. Their offense just couldn't get nothing going.
Yeah.
James Madison the same way too. Where it started off okay, but then Oregon started making the power plays and it just can't answer it. It just come down to they just had the faster, quicker, stronger athletes. They can't answer it. They just don't have the skills to do it. It's come down to it. It's not their fault. This ain't got the talent level to keep up. They're gonna have to make a change though. 'Cause I think today, like you say, it was pretty ugly.
Well, we'll see what happens again with the college football playoffs. Again, I'd love to stop by, whether we're talking college basketball, pro basketball, or football, NFL, or college. I love stopping by anytime you get a chance on your channel. I got Next Sports Media. Man, that stuff is rancid. Oh
Yeah, I
God.
don't miss drinking it at all.
Oh, oh. I'm hanging on. I don't feel any buzz, guys. It's just there. It's just terrible. It's just terrible tasting. YouTube wouldn't let me send it. Said I went over my limit. You know what, Intel? Again, I'm just the offer is kind enough. If you ever decide to put it in, I would be indebted to you once again. You've been very gracious and kind, and just know I'm a man of my word, and I try to stick to it. That's very important to me in life is being a man of my word. And again, Legend, as a man of my word, I want to again tell you that you are just awesome and you're showing up here and being on here as much as you can. But any last thought, not any last thoughts. I know people can say, oh, he's drunk. He's drunk. Any last thoughts before we head on out, my friend?
Just want to say, if just in case I don't get to see anyone else here tonight, have a great Merry Christmas. Enjoy being with your family. It's that wonderful time of the year. Whatever you stress on in life, put that aside, or whatever problems or beef you got with somebody, put it aside. Enjoy the holidays with your family. Enjoy your loved ones. Enjoy with your significant other. Have fun this week. It's Christmas. Enjoy yourself, and then just get ready to go into 2026.
Absolutely, indeed, my friend. But again, this was a game that the Lakers should have had. But unfortunately, you can say all you want about so many players out of the lineup. These are the games, even with the players out of the lineup, that high end playoff teams have to have. And the Lakers with a chance to get into a tie for second place in the Western Conference. Don't get it done. Now the task is very daunting, Legend. It is very daunting indeed.
Yeah,
But we'll be back on Tuesday. I hope you will be as well.
I will be.
Christmas, if you're here, I am very indebted to you. If you're not, I understand completely because you got to spend time with the family. But again, Legend, you are the best for showing up. Hopefully, we'll get Joe on here. John, I don't know where John is. He didn't. I'm hoping he did his 3-minute report. He usually sends me word if he needs me to do his 3-minute report because I've been doing them lately. But I'm assuming everything's okay. But hopefully everything is good with John. Again, go ahead and give a shout out to Legend. I got Next Sports Media, Joe on the Joe Sorrow Experiment, and of course John Costa on, of course, Lakers Corner as well. Gerald's wife is going to love Gerald. I'm not drunk. Good God, I'm way too 220. Let's just say 220. I haven't weighed myself in a while, but 220. I'm good. 3 little shots is just, as Joe would say, it's nothing. It's nothing. Because when you get 4, 5, 6, 7, that's a problem. So
Yeah, my father-in-law gonna try to get me to do some drinking on Christmas.
tell him he needs to hit you up like Intel hit me up tonight, and then there you go. You know what? I was on this channel the other night, and the guy was giving him a lot of money to do shots. I could use the same thing there. You know what I mean?
Good point.
There you
Good
go.
point.
There you go.
500. I drank 10 shots.
Yep. Make it a Merry Christmas for you, my friend. That's all I'll say. Indeed. But once again, I want to say thank you so much to everyone out there. Thank you to Legend. Thank you to obviously Intel, also as well Rosto for the super chats. M24, great to have you here. Please, guys, if you could all do one thing for me and go ahead and like and follow my good friend Drip Show at Drip Show Shop on Instagram and Twitter. Again, he makes some really cool stuff. So if you've ever thought about making a custom canvas art, a pillow or a t-shirt, a hat. You saw Joe's hat that says Drip Show. It can say anything that you want. Well, almost anything that you want. Just some things maybe you don't want to go into. But if you're into pop culture stuff, whether it's Taylor Swift or K-pop or whatever, type of pop culture background or sports, whatever team you follow, go ahead, follow at Drip Show Shop on Instagram and Twitter. The reason why I say this, Legend, is because I think Drip Show has he reached out to you?
He have not.
Okay, I'll see what maybe Drip Show. If you're listening, Legend would definitely love to see if he could do to help support you as well. If you
Yes, sir.
send some love to him, I know he would love that. But Drip Show sends stuff out to YouTubers like me, and it's very gracious. And I know that's money, that's time, that's also a lot of stuff that he spends on sending this stuff out to us. If you could do the same in time and support him and also get a great custom gift, I would be truly indebted to you for supporting him on that. And you would get yourself a great custom gift like I have behind my wall and right here with this pillow right here with Kobe and Gigi. So again, at Drip Show Shop, please this holiday season show some love. Big shout out also as well to my good friend at, of course, the man, the highlights man himself. Go ahead and make sure you hit him up right there as far as the highlights that are all over the place when you talk about what's going on with Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. Yo! But the Lakers unfortunately lose 103-88. We'll be back Tuesday night. Man, it sucks that we're not doing playback anymore. I just really miss
Yeah,
that.
it's different not having it.
I miss the camaraderie. I don't miss the arguing, and I don't miss the people, the 10,000 people say VIP, VIP. Hey, VIP, give it to me now, man. Give it to me now. It's just like, oh my God, whatever. But I miss the camaraderie that we had on playback. Hopefully, we can find some platform where they'll do it again. But for now, please go ahead and support us on the post games and also as well NBA observations. I hopefully we'll have one tomorrow with Alfred. Legend and I may sneak one here in the next couple weeks as well,
Yep.
based on his schedule.
Yep,
And
I'm off
also as well,
all next 2 weeks.
oh, so I got some good NBA observations with Legend probably coming on the way. And also as well, Caleb Ponce as well. He does a great job. Also as well, Legend, and also as well, Alfred Esmond. Looking forward to a conversation tomorrow that I'm going to have him with him as well. So again, the Lakers lose 103-88. We'll be back definitely on Tuesday night with the post game, but look out for our NBA observations as only we can. But here's hoping you have a safe and happy Christmas, a Merry Christmas from all of us right here at the Lakers Fast Break podcast. I gotta get this stuff. This aftertaste.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
awful.
it's awful, man. It's awful indeed. But Intel, most appreciated.